Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I would get a good morning. The reason for it is because it's 9 a.m. in Las Vegas. You guys are ready though. So good. I'm so happy to be here. Today, we are going to talk about building an effective marketing plan using Megaphone. Before we do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashley Rosa, and I'm the Executive Director of Technology Engagement. I've been with the RE/MAX brand for 9 years. I actually started my RE/MAX career at a 5-office franchise in St. Louis, where I fell in love with RE/MAX. I fell in love with the idea that you could be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And I picked up my life, moved to Denver, Colorado, so I could continue to help on a larger scale agents and brokers build their businesses. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We are going to make sure that, one, you understand the value of a marketing plan, right? You understand the fundamentals of creating one, and you understand how to integrate Megaphone into that, just as a supplemental tool to make sure that you can produce whatever you need from a marketing perspective. I've worked with agents a lot over the past 9 years, and I would say as a generality, most don't have a true marketing plan. A lot understand what they provide and what they can provide their clients, but oftentimes it's throwing spaghetti on the wall and kind of seeing what sticks and then moving in that direction, just continuing to throw spaghetti. And while that sometimes is effective, it's a little bit cleaner if we have a true plan that we can follow, right? So this is why a marketing plan can help you. It can help you reach the audiences that you need. It can help you identify the audiences that you are trying to reach. It's a way for you to better serve your clients. And it's going to be the checklist to take the guesswork out of marketing, right? You as an agent are wearing 900 hats all of the time. You're the CEO. You are the CFO. You are the marketer. You are the support person. You're the salesperson. You're the therapist, right? And wouldn't it be easier if you could take out one of those roles, take off one of those hats, because now you have a checklist that you can take the guesswork and thinking out of, okay, now I have these tasks that I can do, right? Wouldn't that be easier? I'm going to share a kind of scary statistic that will hopefully drive the point home of why a marketing plan is so important. 75% of sellers work with the first agent they speak with. So, a marketing plan can be designed to help you, one, get in front of the people to be the first person, right? Or two, if you have the opportunity, win as the second person because you've come in with your best self. Now, we're going to talk through this marketing plan with these 5 strategies in mind. And I will show you step by step with tools how to implement these 5 steps into your business. Later in the presentation, at the very end, I'm going to put a QR code up because I notice that many of you do not have your computers in front of you, and that's okay. I know those of you who are watching at home are on your computer right now. So what we're going to do is when I put the QR code up at the very end of the session, if you take a picture of it, fill out the form, which is just a small form. It's a first name, last name, and your remax.net email address. You will be enrolled in classes on RE/MAX University that will help you accomplish step by step the things that I'm showing today. So you can take your notes today, right now, kind of put some things to memory, and then when you get home next week, you can log into RE/MAX University and watch the how-to at your pace, so that way you can actually implement this into your business. Okay? So we're going to talk about these 5 things. The first thing is we're going to lay out your marketing goals. I'm going to share with you one of the ways that our team, the tech engagement team, which is made up of a content and messaging team, a learning and development team for the US, a learning and development team for Canada, a technology solutions team, and a broker owner onboarding team, how we set goals and how we create a plan to move forward. The reason I'm sharing with you that many teams use it, that many of my teams use it, is because it's effective. So I want to share with you that strategy. Once we lay out how to create marketing goals, then we're going to talk about, second step, creating a unified message. You can easily do this with Megaphone and the professional marketing that RE/MAX provides. The third step is going to be to make the most out of automation. There are a lot of materials that are given to you, beautiful, branded, created materials sitting inside of your Mac Center where you could just quickly push a download button and start utilizing them without having to lift a finger. So taking hopefully one of the other hats off of being a designer, right? There's already things that are created for you. I'll show you how to make the most out of those. The fourth thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to personalize when it makes sense for your business. And the fifth thing is showing you how to promote yourself, how to drive traffic back to your website, how to drive traffic to your mobile app, how to make meaningful connections from marketing to in-person, online. That way people are coming directly back to you. So those are our 5 steps that we'll talk about today. Now, step 1, laying out your marketing goals. This is an easy way to lay it out. You have business strategy and tactical. First, business, what do you want? What does success look like to you? What are your short-term and long-term goals? Strategy, how are you going to achieve those things? And the tactical, what are the step-by-step things you need to do in order to accomplish this strategy? Now, taking into account business strategy and tactical, I'm going to show you on the next slide exactly what my team does in order to hit all of our goals. Now, I know that it's hard to see in the back, so I'll read everything to you. First, you have to set the goal. This probably 90%, hopefully, of the room have already done. A goal would be your business objective. So an example of that would be, I want to increase the number of transactions I do this year by 5 transactions. Lofty goal, but now you got to figure out how to do that, right? So there are going to be many objectives that you set in order to hit that goal. These objectives are really theme-based. So first theme we have is marketing. The objective is the outcome that you're targeting to contribute towards the goal. The goals are determined annually, right? I want to add 5 more transactions this year. So then the objectives are also determined annually. These are the things, the areas that you're going to focus on when trying to hit your goal. An example of an objective is I want to establish myself as a local expert online. Okay, so I believe establishing myself as a local expert online will help contribute towards or be a massive milestone in order to hit my 5 additional transactions, right? That would be one of the objectives. Because if I am considered the local expert online, that means that people are flocking to my website, people are seeing my content and relating me, Ashley Rosa, the agent, back to the community that I'm serving, right? So now that I have my goal, 5 transactions, now that I understand a big milestone in order to hit that goal is to make myself the local expert online, I now have to write my key results. The key result is how you're going to measure your objective. So how would I measure making myself a local expert online? What would that look like? Does anybody know? Besides the example that's on the screen. No? Anybody? Websites, using websites? Testimonials, that's a great one. So you have tons of key results. The number of testimonials, you could tie in the number of testimonials that you're receiving back, and as long as you're putting those online, in order to make myself a local expert online, I need to add 10 testimonials to my website. That would be one key result. You'd add another key result. What was it? Agent insights, absolutely. Anything that's trackable can be the key result that leads up to you hitting your objective. In my example, I use driving traffic back to your community site by gaining X number of impressions. Now let me explain what that means a little bit. So for those of you who are in our company-owned regions, but many of you who are in other regions also have a website. If you have a website, one of the best things that you can do is to create community pages on those sites. Meaning, if your goal is to be the local expert, I'm going to build out a page on my website that talks about my community, right? Makes sense. If my objective is to be the local expert, I need to show that I am the local expert of my community. And so, if I'm going to do that, I can't just leave it sitting there and hope people find it. I've got to find a way to drive traffic back to it. Well, today I will show you how to do that. And using Megaphone, you can actually track the impressions. So one of my key results would be to measure regularly the number of impressions that are happening on my ads as I'm sending people back to my website. Because the impressions are eyeballs. They're people seeing my content, associating me to the local community. Okay, now we understand how to measure, and there's many different ways. You guys thought of some really good ones. Then you have to create the initiatives. Key results are measured quarterly, right? And I would suggest measuring them weekly. But the initiatives are the tasks, the things that you need to do daily in order to accomplish your key result. So, okay, using my same example, if my goal is to get 5 transactions, one of my objectives is going to be to make myself the local expert. In order to make myself the local expert, I want to measure that by the number of impressions that happen on the ads that I'm running for my community page on my website. Meaning, I want to drive as much traffic as I can to the community page on my website, and when I do, then I can start seeing, hopefully, the return, right? People are hitting my website, they're recognizing my face. Now, how am I going to do all of that? Well, you're going to go home and watch all of the RE/MAX University videos that you enroll in at the very end of this class, and they'll help tell you your initiatives. But really, essentially, I would be building a community page on my website, and that could look like going to Google, typing in my community on a Google search, and then silly, I'm going to relate it back to when you're sick. You know when you're sick and you Google your symptoms? There's this section in Google that says frequently asked questions about those symptoms, right? And it scares the bejesus out of you most of the time. And then you go in this rabbit hole of seeing what other people have asked because they have the same symptoms, and then it becomes a whole thing. Well, while that doesn't work in the medical field, it does work in real estate. What you should be doing is Google searching your community to see what people are asking about your community. And then once you know that information, you now have the content for a community page. So if I search Denver, Colorado, I'm going to see in Google what people are asking about Denver, Colorado. I'll see that in the Google search. And then probably people are asking the average home price. Probably people are asking what to do on the weekend. Probably people are asking the school districts, right? And I would even take it a step further. Get more granular than Denver, Colorado. Get granular and say a neighborhood within Denver, Colorado, or wherever you live, right? A sub-community. So that way you can be the local expert. Because if you do that, you will never be able to compete with RE/MAX.com or Zillow or Realtor.com or any of the other big sites, because you are driving traffic on a micro, local level that we just don't have the information for. You know the restaurants in your area. You know the small events that are happening, right? And if you keep it updated, you can do it for just one community and drive traffic back to that one community. I bet you your website will start to rank. We actually have agents who are doing just that. Okay, I've gotten off topic a little bit, but hopefully you understand how content is incredibly important in order to create this entire marketing plan. So you have your goal, you have your objective, you have your key result, and you have your initiative. Once you understand that, we have step 2. So step 1 will take a little bit of homework. I suggest using an Excel file to keep track of all of your objectives, initiatives, key results. But then once you have those, you'll move on to step 2. Step 2 is creating a unified message. Inside of Megaphone, we have a platform that is hosted by Deluxe. Deluxe is a marketing company. They have a booth in the marketplace in case you're curious to learn more. You can also come to the RE/MAX University booth. But I will show you in a few minutes how to customize some of the marketing materials that are inside of the system. If you use Megaphone or any of the other RE/MAX tools like Photofy and Hustle, you're going to already have a leg up on unified message. The branding is consistent, the colors are consistent, and it's a professional design. It's incredibly templated, super easy, but the one thing I would suggest is making sure that you're starting, if you're gonna look at any of your marketing materials, reassess, start with your listing presentation. There is a digital listing presentation inside of Megaphone. I will show you where to find that in a little bit. But at least try it out. Make sure that everything from the very beginning of your interaction to the very end and sending people to your community page is on point and on par. So creating a unified message, let me explain what Megaphone can do as a whole. Megaphone can do a lot, but if I was going to summarize and put it into buckets, categories, Megaphone can help you create professional digital and print marketing materials. 2 examples are a postcard on the page. All of these are templated, so it's plug and play, incredibly easy, saves you time. The second thing you can do is you can run ads online, which I will show you step by step also in a few minutes how to do that. You can run ads on social media, and I'm not just talking about posts, I'm talking about actual ads on social media to gain leads back. And you can track all of it, which is the key results that I was talking about a few minutes ago. Creating a unified message, if you're going to start creating marketing materials inside of Megaphone, when you land on the homepage of Megaphone, there is a button that you would want to click on. It's a big, large button inside of Megaphone, and it is called Browse, Print, and Digital Templates. Browse, Print, and Digital Templates. When you click on Browse, Print, and Digital Templates, I will show you in a few minutes with a video. I'll talk over it and talk through it. It'll show you how to customize all of the print and digital materials so that way you can create a unified message. Once you create a unified message, which is step 2, you're going to try to make the most out of automation, right? The goal of making the most out of automation is to save you time. Now that you have a unified message on the materials that you don't want to automate, you need to start using automation so you're not having to customize every little thing, and it feels like you're not going, if you didn't customize, or if you did customize everything and you didn't use automation, you'd be wasting tons and tons of time just sitting at your computer trying to make sure things were accurate. So inside of Megaphone, all of your listings have an automatically created print and digital material marketing piece. You're also able to post your listings either automatically as soon as they hit the MLS to your social media accounts. You can have it automatically create and send a web ad or a social ad. And it's for every single one of your listings. This, what you're seeing on the right-hand side of my screen, this is what appears for all of your listings. Now, even better than it just appearing for all of your listings, a print material, a digital material, meaning a jumbo postcard, a brochure, and a flyer, it happens every time that you have a new listing, an open house, and a price reduction. So when you do have a price reduction, you're going to have a new marketing material. That way you can advertise the price reduction. I know that that doesn't happen right now as market too much, but open houses do, right? As soon as you have an open house, you can automatically send that, or it can automatically be sent to your social media accounts. I know that houses in most parts of the country are selling like crazy right now, right? But the other piece of advertising an open house is to show how busy you are as an agent, right? To show that you have listings, that you are active in your community. And just by simply turning on automation, it will post that and tie back to your overall objective of being the local expert because you're active in your community. Okay, so let me show you this on the screen here. In a few moments, I'm gonna play a video. It'll be kind of hard to see probably for those of you in the way back over there, but again, I have a video inside of Remax University that will walk you step by step through it. When you click on Promote a Listing, you have the ability to create a jumbo postcard. Here's an example of what that looks like on the screen. You have the ability to, a brochure is automatically created for you, and a flyer is automatically created for you. There's small pieces that you can customize, but essentially you don't have to. That's the beauty of the automation. Professionally designed, beautifully designed, print and digital materials are created on your behalf for every single one of your listings. Now, good news, right now, if you're logging in to Megaphone, for every 200 postcards that you buy, you get 100 free. Use this code if you are interested, because they don't just have to be just listed postcards. They can be postcards that you can send out in order to hit your objective of being the local expert, right? Brian Buffini, in yesterday's session, said that handwritten notes are still in style, the #1 way to create those relationships. I know that you may not want to write handwritten notes for all 300 postcards that you would be getting, but at least your past sellers in the neighborhoods that you are focused on and targeting, write them a handwritten note on the back of the postcard, right? And send it to those, and then push out the larger mailer for those potential clients that you haven't necessarily worked with yet. Okay, so now that I gave you the code for the postcards, let's talk about social materials. Automatically, for every single one of your listings, you have the ability to send social posts that look just like this to your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can download one to send on your phone to Instagram. Again, you're not having to spend time creating something. It's already created for you. So if you have an assistant, if you are waiting in line at Starbucks, it's logging in and pushing a button, or setting up automation one time when you get back from R4, and it will automatically go out every single time that you have a new listing, a price reduction, or an open house. And then we have digital ads. You have the ability to put your ad fund, so if you've created your marketing plan, you know how many dollars you want to put towards your marketing this year. You will be able to create a digital listing ad that happens automatically as soon as you get a new listing every single time. You'll be able to send those stats back to your sellers, so that way you look like the hero as the agent and you're getting them tons of impressions online. Okay, now I'm gonna show you, this is gonna be a video. I'm going to show you how to access all of the digital print automated materials that are inside of your Megaphone account. Now, before I push play on this video, I want to share with you how to access Megaphone. Prior to 2 weeks ago, you were able to go to Mac Center, remax.net, and log in with your remax.net email address and password, and then click on the Megaphone tile. As of now, we are shifting towards a simplified view of Megaphone, so that way you don't have to remember the name Megaphone and then remember all of the things I'm telling you that it can do. Now you just log into Mac Center and think, okay, what do I want to do? Where you're going to click now is Advertising, Social, and Print. It's a button that says Advertising, Social, and Print, because you should be thinking, okay, well, what do I want to do? I want to advertise, create social materials and print materials, the things that I'm sharing with you today. So that's where you'll click, and you'll land on a screen that looks like this. When you land on a screen that looks like this, what you are going to do is you are going to click on Promote a Listing. When you click on Promote a Listing, you're going to be taken to a screen with all of your listings appearing here. If they don't appear here, that means your MLS ID is not inside of your Mac Center profile. If I click on one of these listings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to see the address, I'm going to be able to see the photo, the price, the square footage, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, all of the information pulled over directly from the MLS. Then if I scroll down on this page, you can see exactly what I showed you in the screenshot. We have printed materials, social materials, and digital materials. Inside of my printed materials, I have a jumbo postcard, a brochure, and a flyer where I could click on the Start button to start customizing those. I have social posts where I can click on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and then digital ads where I can click on web and social. I do have to connect my account, you will see, and when I connect my account, that means I could automatically post those to my social media. My web ads and my social ads are there. Now let's say I wanted to download this entire thing or share my listing packet with my clients, type in their email address, and it goes directly to them. If I wanted to download it all so I could start utilizing it instead of going to each individual one, I click download all, and then it downloads all of them right directly to my computer. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start one of these jumbo postcards for you so you can see how easy it is. You can see the size of the postcard, you can see what it looks like before I customize it. I can click download PDF if I wanted to, or I can click edit. If I was going to go in and make some modifications, I could easily do that by clicking agent details, modifying some of those things if I wanted to change it, all being pulled from my Mac Center profile. So if you are thinking, why is this information there, make sure you're going to check and update it there for once and for all. And then I'm going to click on images. This is where you can upload an image directly from your computer where it would land on the front of the postcard. You can easily see which image would be in which spot. Pretty simple, pretty easy, and then I would click update. Once I clicked update, it would update in real time, and then I'd go back to this page and then click the download PDF button. Pretty simple, takes a few seconds. The last thing I want to show you is this change status section. I mentioned just a few minutes ago that you had the ability to automatically be sent materials that were for just listed, price reductions, and open houses. If I would have changed that status, I could easily change it to sold, so that way an automatic material would say sold, so now I can advertise how productive I am. Right now I am going to go back into one of the flyers and show you how easy it is and what it looks like if I was going to customize the flyer. So I'm going to change it from price reduction or price reduced to just listed. In real time, I will show you. I'm going to click update, confirm my update, and then within a matter of seconds, it's going to update to just listed, and I'll be able to download that asset. Pretty easy. The templates are already created for me. They look nice. All I have to do is go in, make a few modifications if I want to, and then within a matter of seconds, it's pulled back up on the screen, just listed. The colors, the spacing, all of that is automatically created for me. Give me just a second and I'll be able to answer your question. I can go back and download the PDF, and then go back to my Megaphone dashboard. What was your question? Yeah, great question. I'm going to repeat it just so everyone can hear it. So she said, you know what, this is great, but at the same time, we want to be able to advertise when we have coming soons, right? When they're not on the market yet, we want to share with the world, right? We want to market towards the coming soons. Totally understandable, totally get it. And then she asked if she could create a listing inside of Megaphone to create all of these marketing materials. You cannot create a listing inside of Megaphone for all of the marketing materials, but you can do something that I'll show you in a few minutes and create coming soon marketing materials for your listing. So while you can't do it in the place that we were just in, you absolutely can create postcards, flyers, print and digital materials for coming soons, and I'll show you how to do that. I don't have the exact language or verbiage in my videos that I'm going to show today, but I'll kind of reference it knowing that it's an ask and a request, so I'll show you that in a few minutes. But within a matter, I don't know, I think the video was 4 minutes long. I was able to kind of show you very quickly how to download an already created piece of marketing material for your listings and how to customize it within a matter of seconds. It's designed to not take a ton of time. It's designed to give you back time. Yeah? Is there room for co-branding on the postcards? On the ones that are automatically created, there's not, but I will show you there are a few template designs that could do co-listings once we get into the customization that we were talking about a few minutes ago. Yeah? Absolutely. When we got to that page, you could upload whatever photo you needed. You could change the language. That's the beauty of being able to change and modify some of that text on the flyer postcard that I just showed, and it being already created for you. So absolutely, great point. Yeah?
I would assume that if you're on a larger team, like I just have a business partner, but we share the same MLS.
Yeah.
Both of our Remax accounts will attach to that MLS number.
Yeah, so you're saying
We have individual MLS IDs. We don't use them for any of our listings. We use our team ID.
Okay, as long as so whatever ID is inside of, his question was, for those of you watching at home, I have a team MLS ID. I know that some MLSs do that, some MLSs do not. Whatever MLS you have, whatever MLS ID you have inside of your MaxSender profile, that will be where the listings are pulled from. So if you have that ID inside of your MaxCenter profile, it will absolutely pull from there. And if you have, oops.
So the question is, does MaxCenter allow two different agents to have the same MLS ID?
Yes, you can have the same MLS ID and multiple MLS IDs. So if you are, for those of you who are in multiple MLSs, add multiple MLS IDs inside of your MaxCenter profile. Absolutely, all day long. All right, so step 4. We went through step 1 and step 2. Yeah, one last question? Like target them online. So I will show you how you can create web ads in just a second. There is not a way to upload an entire list and target just a specific group of people from an Excel spreadsheet. However, there is a way to target specific locations that would be important for wherever your listing was. So I'll show you that in just a second, actually. So step 4 is personalizing where it makes sense. This was one that you asked a lot of questions about. How can I, outside of templates, how can I make sure that I have coming soon information, because we don't have a template that's automatically created for coming soon yet? How can I add team information, change maybe my name to a nickname, whatever that may be. I do think it's incredibly important to personalize when it makes sense. Also, some of your listings may need a different look and feel when you're creating marketing materials for them than other listings. That's totally okay, and that's when you should be personalizing stuff. That's when you should stop using the automation for a second and take a little bit extra care to make sure that the listings are being represented properly. Now, again, if you use Megaphone, absolutely, the look, the feel, the colors are consistent, which aligns with point 2, right? Okay, so I'm going to show you another video here. When I show you another video, what we're going to do is we're going to create and customize our print and digital materials. So I'm on the homepage of Megaphone yet again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and click on Browse Print and Digital Materials from the homepage. When I click on Browse and Print Digital Materials, it takes me into the deluxe platform that I was talking to you about just a little bit ago. It's welcoming me into deluxe. Great. What's going to happen next is I'm going to be taken to a page with a menu at the top. This menu at the top, my recommendation as you're getting used to it is click on content. You'll notice that we have print and digital materials along with campaigns and other materials. I'm going to go ahead and create a flyer just for ease sake. You'll notice that we have options on the left-hand side or categories. If I don't want to use any of these categories and I just kind of want to search through all of the flyers, no problem. I'm going to scroll and scroll and scroll, and you'll see all of the different types of flyers or a lot of the different types of flyers that are in the system. I'm going to go ahead and click the Create button on one of them. When I click this Create button, I am now being told, okay, your goal is to complete the information below, and it's going to look like this flyer up on the screen. You'll notice a lot of this information, again, is filled out for me because, trying to save you time, it's being pulled from your Mac Center profile. I have the ability to pick one of these selected logos. I have the ability to modify name, property address, and if I wanted to modify any of that text up above, I could put my team name, I could put my team's phone number, whoever it was, my co-listings information up there as well if I wanted to. Right now I'm quickly filling out this property address information, basic information that you would put on a flyer. I can add a property description. I can add a few features if I choose to. I add if I want my MLS code on there or not, have the Realtor logo on there or not, and click Continue. When I click Continue, now I'm going to be asked to upload photos. I can upload all of these photos here. You'll notice I have the ability to crop, and I can see numbers on each of these photos. If I click on photo 1, it'll take me to the bottom of the screen, photo 2, photo 3, photo 4, and I have the ability to either upload my own photos or use my gallery. My gallery are photos that are already pulled from my MLS because, again, I already told you my MLS ID was tied to my Megaphone account. For ease, I'm going to go ahead and utilize my gallery for one of my photos, but you can easily upload your own if you'd like to. I'm going to go ahead and click on the photo that I want in photo number 1. Now, where is photo number 1 appearing, you ask? If I scroll up to the top, I'll be able to see exactly what appears in photo 1. If I wanted a high-resolution photo, obviously I would upload that. Select photo 2. You'll notice it appears in photo 2 spot. I'll do the same thing with photo 3. Clicking on photo 3 there, selecting the photo I would like, clicking on photo 4, and selecting the photo I would like. Now we can scroll up, make sure it looks good. You'll notice that there's a little mark, a little stop sign on one of my photos. The reason for that is because it wasn't a high-resolution photo, and it's going to warn me. So that way I'm not getting to the printing stage and realizing, oh my gosh, one of my photos is really grainy and blurry, which I think is incredibly important. So now it's creating my flyer automatically, pulling in the photos that I added. Of course, if I were really creating this, or you were really creating this, you would have changed that photo out, right, and not pushed through. Now it's taking me to this page where this looks blurry and grainy. The reason this preview looks blurry and grainy is because it's saving space to load on your computer. It's trying to load as quickly as possible. This is not what it's going to look like when you actually download the PDF. So when you download the PDF, a high-resolution version of this will appear on your computer. You'll be able to save it, print it out, do whatever you need to do with this marketing material. You can also, if you chose to, you can send this material to Deluxe directly to have it professionally printed if you chose to and shipped to whatever location you needed it shipped to. So you have both options. Again, I showed you the easy to download one. You see easy downloading it, saving it. It's not the blurry version, it's the high resolution version outside of that one photo that I didn't correct, right? So pretty easy. Within a matter of seconds, I still created, I think the video was also 4.5 minutes long, created a professional looking marketing piece that I could have customized all of this information on. Yeah.
First of all, thank you for the information. It's very interesting. But if you want to create from a blank, is there a way to do that without, like that had 4 photos? Is there a way to, on a blank page, to create and download it or then send to others?
Yeah. She asked if there's a way to create a blank, like start from scratch, have not a template. Inside of the Deluxe system, we utilize the templates quite a bit. There's not a way to use a blank template, but I can absolutely bring that feedback back if that's something that you're interested in doing. We actually don't get that request very much because it's the save time, try to get professional looking in a quick and easy way. But I love that feedback, and I'd love to talk to you after a little bit more to understand what you'd like to do. So thank you. Yeah. Company gallery, yep. So the company gallery piece, so I was in a broker account. I have, inside of the broker accounts, you have the ability to see all of the listings that are at your brokerage. So it was pulling over listings that weren't necessarily mine because I'm in a broker's account. Yeah, great question. Okay, so now you saw how to create easy and digital materials, customize them, great. We're gonna create a custom web ad. So in theme with personalizing when it makes sense, this one, in my opinion, is probably the most important one in order to hit the objective of being the local expert. If you remember back, you want to be the local expert online in order to obtain 5 more transactions this year. So if I did do what I described earlier of creating a community-focused page on my website, my goal is to drive traffic back to my website now, right? Because then my website's sticky, I've created great content on my website, and I need people to land there and actually use it and see it and become a lead for me, or at least remember me as the local expert for when they're ready, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and create a custom web ad. Before I do that, I wanna explain what a custom web ad actually is. So a web ad is, this is gonna sound silly, but not a social ad. What I mean by that is that there are social ads that appear just on social media. Facebook, Twitter, the social sites, right? And then there's a whole nother world outside of social, which are news sites, real estate sites, home and garden sites, sports sites, like actual websites where people go and consume information. Web ads are shown on websites, whereas social ads are shown on social. There is absolutely a place for social ads. We won't be talking about them too much today, and if you have questions about them, feel free to come and find us at the RE/MAX University booth. But we're gonna focus on driving traffic back to our website. So there are 4 different ways, or 4 different steps rather, that you will take in order to create a web ad. Super, super simple. The first one is going to be to upload your ad media. You could easily use Megaphone templates or RE/MAX Hustle videos or PhotoFi templates, if you use any of that, and upload them to Megaphone for your web ad, or you could create something on platforms like Canva or whatever else you're using for your marketing, right? Once you have what your web ad should look like and you have that piece of marketing material, then you're going to make sure that you have a place to send people when they click on the ad, right? So if somebody's on CNN and you see the ads on the right and left-hand side, or your local news site, you see the ads on the right-hand and left-hand side, if the goal is to be a local expert, you're going to want to say something in the ad about your local community and find out what's happening, 10 things that are happening in St. Louis this weekend. Great, you're advertising that. People will say, oh, cool, I'm going to click on that, and when they click on it, where are they going to land? That's step 2. You're going to have them land on your community page that you built out on your website. So now that you have a design, now that you have a destination where they're going to land, then you get to choose the website categories. What that means is I'm going to choose where this ad is going to run. If I want it to run on news sites, if I want it to run on sports sites, if I want it to run on real estate sites. You do not get to choose individual websites. Like, I want it to run on this local news station. I want it to run on this specific sports network. The reason for that is because of the next step. The next step allows you to pick your targeting location. So you're likely only going to run your ad within a 15-mile radius of the home or the community, right? Like, you're not going to, maybe you'll expand it to 25 miles, but you're going to try to pick a local area that you want to be a local expert in to run your ad. Well, in order to increase impressions, you're not going to want to be super selective on individual websites. You're going to want to be more broad and select the category so that way it can be shown on any of the news websites, any of the sports websites for that local area. You're increasing your market size, right? So after you do those 4 steps, then you'll fund it, and you'll push it out and track it. So I have a video. I want to show you how to actually utilize and create a custom web ad. Okay, so let's do that. Before you create and upload a web ad, I want to give you a few tips. These few tips are going to be for you when you're creating a web ad. It's incredibly important to make sure that your web ad's attractive and you're drawing people into it. Photo, making sure that the text space is right, you don't have too many words on your screen, you're driving traffic into the right spot, and you have a call to action. Because if you don't have a call to action, you're not going to get clicks on it, right? If you're not telling people to click on it, you're not going to get likely a lot of clicks on it. And then make it eye-catching. So here's the video. Again, I'm on the home page of Megaphone. How I got here was I clicked on Mac Center on the button that said Advertising, Print, and Social. Advertising, Social, and Print. When I clicked on that button, I'm taken to my Megaphone homepage where I'm going to go ahead and click on Create Custom Web Ad. If I click on Create Custom Web Ad, I now can start building my ad. When I click on Start Building My Ad, I now have the ability to see my 5 steps, upload my ad, name my ad, perform my targeting, location, etc. I have the ability to pull in from Photofy and Remax Hustle. I have all of my image sizes there for those of you who are uploading and creating custom images. I've already created a sample, so I'm going to go ahead and upload just my sample file. But this would be an ad that I would be trying to drive traffic back to my local community. You see historic charm and homey vibes. Maybe that's what my community looks like. Tower Grove, Missouri, search now. I'd click continue. Now I'm going to name my ad. This name is for your eyes only. It's just for organization as you're creating multiple ads. So I'm going to name it Tower Grove. That's where the community is. I'm going to write test 1, and then I'm probably going to write the date as well, because if my goal is to be a local expert and drive traffic back, I'm going to probably create more than one ad. Now I need to pick where I want people to land on. It was my website by default automatically appearing there. However, I highly suggest putting your community page there. Now I get to pick where I want to send people, or where I want this ad to be seen. Like I said, you're selecting categories. I selected travel, You can see there's tons and tons of categories for me to select from, but I selected travel, I selected real estate, I selected sports, and I even can select apartments. So for people who are really potentially could be buying, I'm going to make sure that I'm advertising there as well. Okay, continue. Now I get to select my location. So I can type in here, because mine defaults to Denver by the way my computer is set up. I can type in a specific city. When I type in the city, it's going to pull over to my city, or I can drag the map if I chose to find the right community that I wanted. So now I'm selecting Wentzville. Great, this is the community. I'm going to zoom out if I wanted to. I can drop a pin anywhere on the map, and then what's going to happen is it's going to show that I'm doing a 15-mile radius. If a 15-mile radius was great, perfect, I'm on to the summary section where I review my ad. I decide, okay, do I want to manually schedule this, or do I want to make it budget-based, meaning after I spend a certain number of dollars, it's going to stop the ad. Then I can select the number of exposures that I want, how much I'm going to spend, and I can add my credit card, click submit and pay. Yeah?
Just a quick question. The funding piece, is that based off of back-end analytics on the cost of advertising in a specific market? Does that look pretty cheap?
Great question. So it is pretty cheap. We went directly to the source, created this ourselves versus a third party. So this is absolutely what a lot of marketing companies do on the back end, but we now have a powerful marketing tool for you, created by us. Absolutely. It is pretty inexpensive. Now, you'll notice that, or you would have noticed if I didn't go so fast in my video, that when I selected, I had three options. I had like $11, $20, $120, and by each one of those was a number of impressions. That was like the average amount of impressions you could expect with that dollar amount. So now you understand, okay, you understand how many impressions you're going to get based on that money, and you can select a custom amount that's in between those, whatever feels right for you and that ad. Yeah? You can't do zip code because it requires a 15-mile radius around that specific piece. You could expand that 15-mile radius out, but we had it like that, and it was a little confusing because people didn't understand that it wasn't just a zip code. It was a 15-mile radius around the zip code. You can drop a pin. You absolutely can drop a pin. Yeah?
What's the price per click, right? It's not based on clicks.
No, based on impressions, yep. Okay, so now that you've seen how to create a web ad, which again, I think is going to be the best way to create the local expert piece to our overall objective of hitting the 5 more transactions. I've created a consistent marketing materials. Now I need to promote myself, right? I've promoted my community, I've promoted my website, I have consistent marketing materials for my listings, but I need people to know that I'm the local expert. Just remember me, right, when you're thinking of buying and selling. So on Megaphone, and I don't have a video for this piece, but it works just like the custom web ads, only a little bit simpler. You're going to click Promote My Business from the home page of Megaphone, and you'll be given 3 options. These 3 options work just like the custom web ads, only they're more templated, so you don't have to upload your own content. There's a template automatically created for you, and you're going to be able to push people directly to your branded mobile app, your listing search site, so your website, or your home valuation page. The difference between your listing search site and your home valuation site is it appeals to 2 different audiences, right? That's what the ad that's templated says. Look at my search now, right? It would be the call to action that would be on my listing search site, looking for buyers. And then the home evaluation site, which you all have at least on your Bouge websites, is looking for sellers, right? So templated ads that you can, 3 steps, select a template, make sure you name it and add the URL where you want them to land, and then select your location and add your payment with it. So incredibly easy. If you're just getting started in creating web ads, feel free to use one of these templated routes, but it drives them directly back to you if you don't have a community page already built. All right, so don't forget to promote yourself inside of the deluxe piece where I showed you earlier where we were creating a flyer from scratch. And from scratch, I mean it was a template and we uploaded some photos and changed some text, right? There are also materials that you can create or modify that are just specific to you. So mailers, online ads, social posts, templates for fun templates for testimonials. Somebody said adding testimonials to their websites. There are print and digital materials where you can add in a testimonial and it looks like it's an attractive post that you can directly take and translate over to your social media. Advertising you and your business is incredibly important. And then I do have one bonus tip, and it's exactly what we talked about today, taking the overall picture and gaining additional clients with Megaphone. Creating community pages on your website, running ads for those community pages. Marketing your open house via print and digital materials. So inside of Megaphone, there are open house, multiple open house templates that you can print out and leave during your open house with your branding on them, which is, again, why we host open houses, to get potential clients, right? And you can promote your solds on social media. So definitely make sure that you're taking a look at that. Now's the time where you can enroll in a class. If you scan this QR code on Monday or Tuesday of next week,